Welcome to the field, the Philadelphia High School Marching Band. The band will be performing their halftime show, The Avengers, featuring the iconic Marvel opening theme, the brave Captain America, the mighty Thor, and the incredible Iron Man. This year's leaders are Journey Willis, flute, Sidney Porcher, clarinet, Zakir Fulton, saxophone, Charlie Perkins, trumpet, Quantavious Clemens, low brass. Drumline captains are London Moore, Alexander Minchin. Color guard captains are Sandra Gray and Saia Harris. And this year's drum major is Jacoby Lyons. The band is under the direction of band director Joshua Russian. Color guard is under the direction of Sadidra Black and Renita Mitchell. Drum major, is your band ready?
Oh, I think she got the Thor hammer. One's got the Thor hammer. What's the other got? Like freaking Leonardo's. Tell them what I'll say tonight, okay? So just ignore it, okay? Oh gosh, this is too old. Philadelphia. Yes. Yes, sir. Danger. Okay. Wait, I found something.
Danielle Spurlock, Wayne McDill, Renita Mitchell, and Principal Steve Allen, Superintendent Dr. Shannon Whitehead, and the band boosters for all their continuous support.
What did we ever come up with the white hat guy? Oh my gosh. Yeah, go ahead. I was just telling people not to talk right now. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2022 West Lauderdale Mighty Night Marching Band, under the direction of Dr. Christopher Grant and drum majors Brindley Harden and Chance Evans, bring you the story of Beethoven's Immortal Love. Join us tonight as we trace the beginning of this tale. Drum majors, are you ready? You may take the field.
I'm sorry.
It's $2.26, it's 25 cents.
It's $5 for cheese fries.
For
Festivities get wrapped up with a wonderful game between the West Lauderdale Knights coming in with a 3-0 record against the Philadelphia Tornadoes 0-4. And do not let that 0-4 record fool you, because the Philadelphia Tornadoes have faced some pretty stiff competition to begin this season. Noxubee County, we all know Noxubee County is always a tough squad. They started out on August 26th as a loss 52-15. Bay Springs, who many say possibly could be the winner of state in 1A, lost to Bay Springs 46-6. League Central, who many people are turning their heads toward League Central this year, we'll face them next week, right? 43-34. They hung in there with League Central. And then last week, Winona, who was, I believe, number 3 or number 4 in 3A, they lost against Winona 46-15. So some pretty stiff competition to begin the 2022 season for the Philadelphia Tornadoes. So we'll look forward to seeing them coming up in about, I don't know, what's the time here? We got about 14 minutes before kickoff. So looking forward to that. But as you look over, Clint, bring you into the microphone here. As you look over this team, this is a historic team in Mississippi, the Philadelphia Tornadoes. You got 3 state championships, multiple district championships, a team that began before 1920. I know it shows here 1920, but that's a typo. It began actually we'll just say before 1920. This is an historic team for Philadelphia Tornadoes. Anytime that you're able to play such an historic team, it's a big night, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's kind of like what you're talking about, Lee. You've got a team here that you look on record, rocking an 0-4 record. You think, okay, this could be a pushover game. This could be a one-sided game. But from the outside looking in, it may have that perspective. But if you look at what they've been through, kind of like what you're talking about with the teams they've played, they are going to put up a fight. This is not going to be we're going to roll over and die and still walk out with a W type of situation. You're going to have to put on your best front, kind of like what you heard in the country show. Coach Rock was very adamant that we're going to have to play well on all 3 facets of the game, offense, defense, and special teams, so we can find ourselves in a dogfight. And when you look at the team previously, you look at the records past, I mean, this has been perennially a strong team. This is a team that has competed in district. This is a team that has competed in playoffs, and it's a team that if West does not come out swinging, and as much as I love the festivities of homecoming, how easy is it to get distracted by the yard rolling, by the parade, by the I was over here Wednesday, hanging out with some of the players and coaches, and you've got kids walking in, wearing costumes, and I think that day, Wednesday, I believe, was dressed up either as a hero or a villain day. It's so easy to get caught up in the festivities of the week that sometimes you lose sight of the fact that you got to strap up your pads and get ready to hit somebody Friday night.
That's right. And that's going to happen in about 12 minutes or so. So we're going to step aside, come back with our starters and the FCA Pep Talk. And this is your Battery One Source pregame show. We'd like to thank, we just actually saw him walk right behind us, John Dufour. So thank you very much for them, as well as the rest of the folks there at Battery One Source. Go see the Dufours at Battery One Source today for automotive. We got commercial, special application batteries as well. Also mobile phone and tablet repairs, 2618 North Frontage Road in Meridian. Thank you very much to the Battery One Source pregame show. Once again, we'll be back with our starters as well as that FCA Pep Talk next here on Q101.
Looking for some good Creole eating Welsh.
Okay, bring that master down just a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, since I didn't turn the lights down. How's that?
Yeah, it sounds fine. That sounds better. You want to? Do you have this? Do you come back after the pep talk or before?
After the pep talk.
Okay. I'll put you at about 3 minutes.
Alexis Shirley, you're needed in the press box. Alexis Shirley. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you rise for our invocation. Our invocation tonight we've been given by Miss Alexis Shirley. If you will, remain standing for the national anthem presented by the Mighty Knight Marching Band.
Not quite. No.
Please pray with me. Father in heaven, we ask your blessing on the game we are about to play. Give each and every one of these players the courage to play this game in a manner by which their words and actions are pleasing to you. Let them enter into this competition in the spirit of
talk a little bit about Battery One Source. We still got about another 10 minutes or so, about 8 minutes or so before kickoff here tonight for the West Lauderdale and Philadelphia game that's coming up in just a matter of moments. But John, I see a little excerpt on here about cell phone repair as well. What's the craziest thing
Captains for the Tornadoes tonight, number 23 is James Greer. Number 61 is Jordan Sanders. Shoulder 9, number 11, President 5 is Jackson Parker. Landon Vaughn is number 12, number 77, Zach Simpson.
I'm on one now. Patrick's. Bye-bye.
Coach's box?
Yeah, this is it right here, man. That whole side's yours. Look, hey, Tony, make sure the audio comes from 2 now, not 1, because I'll be with the coaches.
Philadelphia won the toss, and they have deferred to the second half, so the Knights will take the opening kickoff and defend the west end of the field.
out of midfield? And Clint, I'm hoping you have that information.
Absolutely. I was watching. So the captains for the Tornadoes for Philadelphia were number 61, which is Jordan Sanders, and number 23, Chance Greer. Captains for West Lauderdale were number 5, Jackson Parker, number 77, Zach Simpson, number 1, Brett Busby, number 12, Landon Vaughn. Philadelphia did win the coin toss, and they deferred to the second half, so the Knights will be receiving the kickoff to begin the game here in just a few moments.
Is that the first time that we've received the ball? No. First game of the season, I know.
Yeah. So, yeah, and teams coming out on the field, we're getting ready to start here in just a second. Lee, you want to give us a couple of starters?
Yeah, let's go with we'll get the West Lauderdale starters. Did you?
Yep, I got them.
All right. I'll do the West Lauderdale starters. Because I know you have the Philadelphia starters. Since we are starting on offense tonight, we'll start out with that offensive line. In that centerpiece of the offensive line, the guy that's really turned some heads this year because it was one of those situations we didn't know what was going to happen for center. Bryson Alford has done an outstanding job at center this year. So, your guards, number 67, C.J. Watson, and number 56, 6'6", Jacob Livingston. Your tackles, number 75, Paxton George, and number 77, Zach Simpson, also standing at 6'6". Gunnar Knapp is your tight end. H-back is Hunter Moore, who, by the way, if you ever run into Hunter Moore, ask him to sing you a Disney song. I think he knows every Disney song. Just go ahead and do that. Tell him I said that. Wide receivers tonight are number 19, Antonio Radcliffe, as well as number 22, Cooper Luke. Running back number 4, Caleb Collins, who has 300 yards coming into tonight's ball game on the ground. And quarterback number 5, Jackson Parker. Defensively for the Philadelphia Tornadoes, we'll get you those as well, as the football is being put down on the 40-yard line. Back deep for the Knights, number 4, Caleb Collins. As week number 5 is officially begun. Thank you once again to Battery One Source for providing our sponsorship for our pregame show as we wrap things up. Here's the kickoff. Short kickoff, going to come up to the 23-yard line. Cuts inside, I believe that's Cooper Luke, to the 35, 40, outside of the 40, near the 42, 43-yard line.
Yeah, Cooper Luke was one of the up men returning the kickoff and did a great job just splitting the middle, getting some good positive yardage. He eventually gets upended, and I mean that in the very literal sense. I believe the top of his head may have been the first thing to hit the ground. Fortunately, he pops up, he jogs off the field and ready to go. We'll give you the starters for Philadelphia on the defensive side here in just a couple moments, but it looks like West Lauderdale's about ready to start the first offensive drive of the game.
Well, speaking of Cooper Luke, I saw a costume of his. It was homecoming week this week, and he was dressed up as one of the superheroes in SpongeBob. So if you run into him, ask him how that went. Jackson Parker swings it out to Landon Vaughn, comes up to this near side to the 45, midfield, 45, and out of bounds. Let's see where the official marks it, around the 44-yard line. And Landon Vaughn actually getting the start at the wideout position on his near side, on the left-hand side. Once again, the West Lauderdale Knights wearing black on black on black, moving right to left, while the Philadelphia Tornadoes, red helmet, white jersey, white pants with a little red striping. Hand off to Caleb Collins, excuse me.
Yeah, that was Collins on the handoff, and I don't know if you noticed that, Lee. That was it looked off.
Yeah,
the handoff. I don't know if Parker held on to it a little long. I don't know if he recognized Collins didn't quite have a grab on it on the handoff, but he hesitated, but he still was able to pick up good yardage, 5-yard gain.
Once again, Collins with the handoff goes that far side to the 30, inside the 30 to around the 27-yard line. That's definitely enough for a first down for the West Lauderdale Knights. Once again, moving right to left. Just a few plays into tonight's ball game, and they are already threatening near the 25-yard line. Looks like a stop here and play. A Philadelphia Tornado down on the ground. Injury timeout. We're going to step aside as well. Come right back here. Once again, 11:14 remaining in the first quarter. We'll be back on Q101.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries. And home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save.
In Meridian, talk to State Farm agent Chris McDonald today.
You save on home, car, and...
Jackson Parker rolling to his left. Pass intended for Cooper Luke, but it fires incomplete.
Down and 10 from the 27-yard line. Jackson Parker, incomplete pass intended to Cooper Luke onto this near side around the 20-yard line. Once again, pass was incomplete, so it brings up second down and 10 from the 27-yard line. Promise you we'll get you those defensive starters for the Philadelphia Tornadoes momentarily. Once again, second down and 10, handoff to Collins, and he is hit from behind in the backfield. That's going to be a 3-yard loss for the Knights. Third down, 13 coming up.
Yeah, that was number 26 on the defensive line. That's Imarian Black penetrating the gap, able to get in the backfield and tackle for a 3-yard loss. While we have just a couple of seconds, well, we don't. The Knights are moving at a very quick pace on offense right now.
Pistol formation for Parker. He gets a Philadelphia Tornado to jump off sides. That'll give him a little breathing room.
Yeah, that was number 51, Quentin Beeman. That bit on the hard count, jumped into the neutral zone. Looks like he made contact with number 77, the right tackle, Zach Simpson.
So it's going to bring up third down, 8. Go ahead.
Moving it to a little more manageable third down situation from a 3rd and 13 to a 3rd and 8.
Two receivers this near side, two to the far side. Cooper Luke, though, on this near side going in motion. And Collins with the pitch off to this near side to the 25 and then out of bounds inside around the 22, 21-yard line. Yeah, they're going to bring up fourth down and about 4 to go. So I'm sure it's go for it time here for the Knights.
They're going to give him credit for about a 4. Ooh, they backed it up a little bit more.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
That's going to be
fourth down and 6 here. Look out for a hard count right here. Two receivers to the far side for the Knights. Pistol formation. Hard count. Gets nothing out of it. Looks back over his shoulder. Gets the play from offensive coordinator Daniel Knox. Barks out the signal to the offensive line. And no, he rolls out to his right. Looking for a pass. Got it. That is Gunnar Knapp to the 10, to the 8-yard line. That is enough for a first down. That was an outstanding job, not only by the quarterback rolling out to his right-hand side, throwing from left hand, and Gunnar Knapp making the reception there.
Absolutely. Great job on that 4th and 6, rolling out, taking the entire line with him, able to scramble, able to buy some time, and able to find the halfback there on the crossing route for a first down.
First and goal from the 8-yard line. Two receivers right as the Knights moving right to left. Quarterback keeper going to the 5-yard line, and does he get in? Yes, he does. Spins into the end zone for the first score of tonight's ballgame. 9:54 remaining in the first quarter. Knights 6, Tornadoes 0.
Strong drive by the Knights there. Barring one rush that went for a loss of 3, they were able to move the yardsticks, able to get the ball downfield on every run that they had, like I said, except for that one. But now the Knights are lining up for the extra point. They're in that swinging gate formation right now, ready to kick the extra point. We're able to hopefully go up by 7 here. Taking advantage of the first drive and taking the lead very early. They're closing that gate into a more traditional extra point formation.
That was actually Parker's 7th rushing touchdown of the season. Hunter Moore will be the long snapper. Parker, you're the holder.
We have a penalty on the...
And that might send the offense back out on the field.
Yeah, they're going to call offsides on the defense, so that's going to half the distance to the goal. So you go from the 2.5 to, I guess, right at the 1-yard line.
Right.
And yeah, I see Collins running back onto the field. So I believe they're going to run an offensive play now, thinking surely we can pick up 1 yard. Yep, they are in an offensive formation here. They're going to be in a 2-wide set on the left side.
Got a heavy backfield, though, with Parker under center. Hunter Moore is your, handoff goes to Caleb Collins. Caleb Collins gets in there for the 2-point conversion. And Hunter Moore with a little
they had him in a fullback position there, ready just as a lead blocker. And that was your...
He definitely has the look of a fullback.
That was your traditional... power eye, lining up. If you can stop us from getting a yard, you deserve it. And fortunately for us, Philadelphia was not able to get the stop. Collins ran off left tackle and was not touched until he was 1.5 yards into the end zone.
8-0. This is West Lauderdale football on Q101.
Looking for some good Creole eating? Well, share, get on over to the Rue, Highway 19 north of Collinsville. They got seafood gumbo, etouffee, jambalaya, and more.
And the kick return to the 25-yard line. 35 gets hit hard at the 35-yard line. And did I see a cleat get taken off his feet as soon as he made the reception there?
Yeah, I was trying to find the number. In fact, I see him running back to get the cleat. The ball was fielded somewhere around the 11, and the cleat landed on the 13. So is that number 1?
Yes.
Yeah,
no, 4. No, that is number 4.
Number 4, okay, the return man. That is going to be Jacameron Bolin was the return man. Also, number 4 is a starting defensive back for the Tornadoes.
That is one thing that I've noticed. The Philadelphia, of course, they're a smaller school as far as classification, has a lot of guys going both ways here for the Philadelphia Tornadoes.
Absolutely, and a lot of times what they'll do is, you recognize your athletes, your players, and you find places for them to go. Sometimes it does happen to be both ways.
And stop here in action. Going to be a pre-snap penalty, a false start, illegal motion for the Tornadoes. Already a couple penalties in tonight's ball game. That is number 3. Number 1 is your quarterback. That is D. Burnside. Got a chance to see quite a bit of him last year.
Yeah, what we'll do real quick, I'll give you some starters for Philadelphia while we have a couple of seconds. On the offense, offensive line, number 50, Killian Coburn, number 51, Quentin Bierman, number 55, KJ Seals. I'll give you more in a second.
Double wing formation as they'll line up that, and the running back got about most of those penalty yards back. Gets up to the 30, 34, 30, 33-yard line. He gets 3 yards of those back, so second down and 12 to go.
All right, Tennyson, Jordan, and Jordan Sanders are the rest of your offensive line. Running back number 6, CJ Rush. Tight end number 54, J.D. Turner. Wide receivers are number 23, Chance Greer, and number 2, Darius Grady. Running back number 5, Austin Donald, and quarterback, like you've already said, number 1, D. Burnside.
Number 5, Austin Donald. Have heard a lot about him. He's on the right-hand side as the wing back on this right-hand side. Looking to pass, though, is number 1, Burnside. He goes deep to number 5. He's got it, and I believe he's going to walk into the end zone for a touchdown. That is going to be a 67-yard touchdown pass from quarterback to number 5, Austin Donald.
Yeah, Brett Busby, number 1 in coverage, and up until the very last second was holding with him. And as the ball approached, it just sailed just over his outstretched arm and into the hands of the receiver, and he was able to basically just walk into the end zone for the touchdown.
D. Burnside showing off an arm, and little running back, number 5, showing that he can separate. Austin Donald.
All right, so are they going to bring the offensive line?
Try to tie it up?
Yeah.
I would think so.
And that's exactly what they're doing, the offensive back on the field to try to get that 2-point conversion and tie it up.
Once again, double wing formation for Burnside, and the Tornadoes end around. Going number 5, and he's going to get into the end zone for a 2-point conversion. And it is tied up. First quarter, 8:51 to go here in the first quarter. 8-8 to Philadelphia and the West Lauderdale Knights. Looking like a good one here tonight on Q101. We'll be back.
This October the 5th, there's a SCA rally, worship rally. It's called the Night for the King. That is at Collinsville First Baptist Church. The doors open at 5:45. Worship is from 6:15 to 7:50. Everybody in grade 6 to
While we have a second, since it looks like Philadelphia's going to be going back on defense, let me give you those starters we never got to. Number 50, your defensive lineman, number 50, Killian Coburn, number 5, Austin Donald, number 53, Jacob Greer. The linebackers, 51, Quentin Beeman, 26, Imarian Black, and 23, Chance Greer. Kickoff. Go ahead, Lee.
That's going to come out to the 10-yard line. He's up to the 20, 25. He's got a lane open to 35, 40, and then gets tripped up there at the 45. I thought he could have taken that all the way. That was is that number 6?
Yeah,
that's Q Barty.
Absolutely.
6 for the Knights.
And that's 2 returns back-to-back that they're able to split the seam and get up to close to midfield.
Yeah, but go ahead, Clint.
Give me the rest of these starters. The linebacker 6, CJ Rush. Your defensive backs are number 3, Keithan Graham, number 4, Cameron Bolin, number 8, Bernard Parker, and number 9, Dylan Graham. Lee, what you're talking about, our listeners probably noticed a lot of those names I've repeated.
Yeah.
A lot of those names are playing both ways, so we're going to see how that affects their stamina, how well they're able to keep up later in the game, having to play a lot of time both ways.
It's the 3rd game out of our 4 games here this season that the opponent has scored on their first drive. We'll see how the Knights respond. Got a deep pass to Landon Vaughn, and that is going to be a complete pass all the way inside the 20-yard line from the 45.
Great pass right there on the sideline, Vaughn. I'm not sure that would have been a complete pass in the pros, but high school, college got 1 foot in, and that's all you need. Able to take it down to the 16-yard line on an absolute dime of a pass from Parker to, was that Vaughn that brought it
That
in?
was Landon Vaughn. How about the 2 passes from both squads? Some deep passes here tonight. I mean, just airing it out.
Parker basically saying anything you can do, I can do better.
Going in motions, Luke, but getting the handoff is Collins. Collins to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown, West Lauderdale.
Able to make the first man miss, and there was no second after that. Able to split the defense, run through an arm tackle from whom I believe was number 5, the defensive lineman, Austin Donald, had a hand on him but couldn't get him wrapped up. And after that, there was nobody left to get to Collins.
How about this?
I mean, yeah,
not even 4 minutes in this game, and we've already got 3 scores. 14-8 currently, awaiting this extra point decision. Of course, lined up currently in that little swinging gate. Is that what that's called?
That's what it's called, because if they elect to kick the extra point, they will close that gate.
It is going to be a fake, and or excuse me, yes, it will be a fake, and you can't return this, can you? No.
Well, they're calling, that's just going to go as a try a little trickery, try to a fake from that swing, and that's what I was talking about. You've got everybody except for 2 or 3 players over there. If you're able to complete that pass, you've got a lot of blockers, but unfortunately it hit the ground. It was recovered by Philadelphia, and that's going to go as a missed point after attempt.
All right, 14-8, 8:21 remaining here in the first quarter. We'll be back on Q101.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries. And home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save.
In Meridian, talk to State Farm agent Chris McDonald today.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs. Donnie Scribner and the fine bunch there just have been a staple in the Collinsville area for I don't know how many years. I'd love to know that all the way back from McPhail's Grocery and Mr. Discount Drugs. And just been a wonderful sponsor here for West Lauderdale football for years upon years upon years. And better yet, just a big person in the community for Collinsville as well. Cooper Luke with the kickoff. Deep kick, going to go inside around the 15-yard line. Return to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, midfield, 45. He may go all the way to the 30, to the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Tornadoes. Wow.
You know, we talked about this pre-game. You know, you don't know if you know the athletes that Philadelphia brings to the table. You look at their schedule, you say, okay, they're 0-4. We should be good, and they're coming out here and they're swinging. You know, they're going for the knockout blows quick. The long pass, the kickoff return for a touchdown. Makes it 14-14 with 8 minutes and 6 seconds here in the first quarter.
With an extra point, they can take the lead. Number 2 is going to be the holder, Darius Grady, and the kicker is Adrian Luke. How about that? Both kickers, last name Luke.
Philadelphia bringing in a very late person. They were 1 man short on their personnel. There's a snap, the hold, the kick.
Kick is good. And it is 15-14. Philadelphia. We'll be back on Q101.
Locally owned and operated.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries. And home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save.
In Meridian, talk to State Farm agent Chris McDonald today.
For a touchdown for the Philadelphia Tornadoes, and an extra point has the Tornadoes leading by 1. And once again, still less than 4 minutes to go, or excuse me, less than 4 minutes have ticked off here at homecoming night here at West Lauderdale. West Lauderdale 14, Philadelphia 15. Been some outstanding plays. Kickoff return for a touchdown, some big time airing it out as far as passes go. What else can we see? And we still got quite a bit of football left.
Absolutely, both offensive doing well. But here we go with the kickoff. It's going to be fielded at the 15-yard line.
Up to the 20, 25, near the 30 before being taken out of bounds. Philadelphia Tornadoes, you got to believe that they are chomping at the bit for any momentum. And once they get on that momentum ride, it's going to be hard to knock them out.
Absolutely. Anytime you have a team that on paper appears to be an underdog, anytime you have a team that on paper appears to be I'm not going to say the lesser, but, a smaller school, less athletes on the team, an underdog. And we all know the story of the underdogs, the Cinderella stories, but you let them hang in, you let them stick around, and, you give them a chance to believe that they can stay in it, and that they will.
West Lauderdale has only defeated the Philadelphia Tornadoes one time in the history, and you would think that they would have faced each other more times than not, but that's not been the case. First down and 10 for the Knights, moving right to left. Handoff goes to Hayes Nance. Hayes is met after a 2.5, 3-yard pickup. But you go back to last season. Last season was their first win against the Philadelphia Tornadoes, 55-20. But before that, they had lost 11 straight times dating back to the 80s. They didn't play any in the 90s and picked them back up in the 2000s. But had lost 11 straight times against the Philadelphia Tornadoes. Second down, 7 to go, moving right to left. Jackson Parker, quarterback keeper, to the 35, 40-yard line, 41, 42-yard line. It's going to be enough for a first down for the Knights.
Yeah, Parker with a strong scramble is able to break through a couple of arm tackles and pick up about 10 yards, 10, 11 yards on a second down and 7. So strong run for Parker out of a designed quarterback keeper, wasn't a scramble, but able to pick up more than needed for the yard to gain. He's going to bring up first and 10 for the Knights on their own 43-yard line.
Pistol formation, 2 receivers to the right for Parker. Parker looks right, throws right, and does he make? Yes, he does. Somehow Cooper Luke hangs on. No, that's Landon Vaughn. I'm sorry. Landon Vaughn laid out for that pass, and it's going to bring up second down and 4. Second down and 4 to go.
Yeah, they're going to mark him down at the Knight 49-yard line, so just shy of crossing midfield. But still, like you were saying, Lee, need about 4 yards to get that first down.
Hayes Nance to the left of Parker as Hunter Moore goes in motion. Not sure what was seen there.
I think they're going to call an illegal shift against the Knights. It looked like they had 2 different men shifting at one time. Yeah, that's going to be an illegal motion against the Knights. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Going to go from 2nd and 4 to 2nd and 9 on the 44-yard line.
It's one of those that you really don't want when you've got momentum going, and you really do not want to turn the ball over to the Philadelphia Tornadoes at this point. One receiver to the right, one receiver to the left, giving the ball to Hayes Nance. Hayes to the midfield, lowers his shoulder, and gets up to the 48-yard line. It's going to be a little bit more than a yard to go for a first down. So third down, long one to go here coming up.
Strong run by Nance there, taking the handoff, able to pick up, 8 yards, needed 9.
Yeah, they backed the ball up to the 49 of the Tornadoes, so a little bit longer than expected. So third down and 2 to go. 2 receivers to this near side. That is Vaughn and Luke, I believe, are your 2 receivers. And getting the handoff, Jackson Parker keeping it 40 to the 35-yard line and lowers his shoulder.
Okay.
Gets near the 30-yard line.
You got to love whenever you see the quarterback throwing the stiff arm and just dropping a defensive player. In that situation, number 23 for the Tornadoes, that's a linebacker, Chance Greer, trying to tackle him, and Parker just shoves him to the ground right before he runs out of bounds. So
number 6, C.J. Rush, may have to take himself out. I don't know if he was releasing some bodily fluids on the field just a few seconds ago, but he is tapping his helmet saying, come on. And yeah, he is. He's releasing a lot more right now on the field. That was not a good shot that I wanted to see right there. But I'm pretty sure he's going to take himself out. Is he going to do it again? I'm going to look the other way.
For some reason, I can't stop looking.
Yeah, he's releasing more Gatorade.
All right, so this is one of those situations you don't know if it's an illness, don't know if it's nerves, maybe he ate some bad chicken. We don't know, but number 6 obviously having a hard time.
What was the movie Unnecessary Roughness? Where
no, that was
what movie
the Replacements.
The Replacements, yes.
Where the offensive lineman decided a good pregame meal would be about 2 dozen hard-boiled eggs. And about the second play from scrimmage, all 24 of them came back up. But you know what? Let's talk about something different. Let's talk about the fact that the Knights are moving the ball well. First and 10 on the Tornado 33-yard line? Yeah, 33-yard line. So moving strong basically able to do whatever they want on the offensive side of the ball.
15-14 is the score. Tornadoes lead by 1. It has been an air-out raid and special plays here tonight, and just 6:01 ticked off the clock here in the first quarter. 5:59 remain. Jackson Parker with a swing out pass to
that's Busby.
Brett Busby, and he'll get tackled with a 1-yard loss, but the flag comes in. This is probably going to be coming back even more.
That looks like it's going to be a hold against the Knights, and that's exactly what they call hold against the Knights, and they're going to back them up 10 yards. So you're going to go from obviously 1st and 10 to 1st down and I believe 20 as they
more than that.
Those types of penalties are absolute drive killers. You're right, it happened behind the line of scrimmage, so you're going to go from 1st and 10 to a 1st and 23. They're going to mark it on the Tornado 45-yard line, having to get down to the 22.
I love the personnel changing, though, keeping people fresh. You got Brett Busby back in there as wide left, and Parker rolling out to his left. He is being flushed from the pocket and going to be an incomplete pass. He was being chased by Austin Donald. And you got to think how much going back and forth. I know we've got a few players as well going both ways, but they're able to be spelled. Tornadoes constantly in there both ways.
Yeah, and on that one play, you know, Parker doing a good job getting rid of it. He was being forced out of the pocket and was just another second or two away from being dropped for a sack for a big loss. Able to throw it at the feet of a receiver, live to fight another day. 2nd down and 23.
Going in motion is Landon Vaughn. Getting the handoff is Collins, but nothing there. It's going to bring 3rd down and long. And what looked to be just a few moments ago, the Knights threatening here inside the 30. Now you find yourself all the way backed up to the Tornado 45-yard line, 3rd down and 23.
Yeah, that run by Collins there, he was just fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage. He was hitting the backfield. So, like you said, Lee, 3rd down and, quarter mile.
So you'll have wide right is Gunnar Knapp. In the slot over there is H-back Hunter Moore. This near side, you've got Landon Vaughn in the slot, Antonio Radcliffe as your wide left. Looking to pass is Jackson Parker, and he's being flushed in the pocket. He's got a lane to run through, and that lane closes up. Inside the 40 is where they'll mark him, but that is nowhere near the 1st down. It's decision time for the West Lauderdale coaches here.
Yeah, you're kind of in that no man's land. You're on the opponent 40, so a lot of times you think, okay, we'll go for it, but man, this is going to be a 4th down and what, 16?
Yep. You're on the 38-yard line, but if you get half of these back, I mean, it's a positive. I know you could probably pin them deep in a punt, but you have 3 receivers to this near side, 1 to the far side. Once again, the Knights moving right to left. Parker may backpedal and punt it away. Yes, he does. Nobody back for the Tornadoes, and will this be a good job? Yes, it will be. On the 1-yard line, the Knights will down it at the 1-yard line. So pin your ears back if you're a defensive lineman and your linebacker. Go after that safety and get 2 points here.
Absolutely. It's one of the perks of your quarterback also handling your punting responsibilities. Able to line up in a very wide, 4 wide with a tight end, single, no back set. There was no deep man for the Tornadoes, so nobody back there to field the quick kick, to field the punt. And great job by the offense for the return, the punt team able to get down. Your gunner got down and downed it. Not only inside the 5, but pinned him, and I'm thinking that might be inside the 1. They pinned him very deep. And for Philadelphia, kind of that danger zone, you can't afford a sack, can't afford a tackle for a loss here. So
also don't forget, they know you're coming.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just showed how they did a 67-yard touchdown pass a few moments ago. You got to respect the pass.
Philadelphia lining up in a 1 wide receiver set. They are in a very much power set.
Yep. Double wing. Quarterback's going to go up the middle and get them some breathing room, about a yard. So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 9. But still, you're just on the outside of we're about the 2-yard line. Is that what
I believe?
Or did they get up to the 3?
I believe they've got him on the 3.
Nonetheless, it's showing a 1-yard gain. So 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, and that's exactly what that was. It was a design quarterback draw, and they were just trying to get a little breathing room out of the end zone, because as it stands right now, if you don't gain another yard, you're punting with your punter with his heels on the back of the end zone.
1 receiver wide left. Once again, double wing formation as the 2 wings are facing each other, and they back directly behind the running back. And movement is going to move the Tornadoes half the distance to the goal.
That's going to go as an illegal shift against the Tornadoes. No, just a false start against the Tornadoes.
That
But
might
either
be
way,
just a little bit behind the original line of scrimmage. So
yeah, that's going to go as a half distance to the goals. They're going to bring up second down in about 10 and a half.
3:24 remaining here in the first quarter. Tornadoes lead 15-14. Close battle here in the first quarter. Going in motion is number 5. Getting the handoff is the fullback in the back, and he is in the backfield. Does he get him in the end zone? Yes, safety for the West Lauderdale Knights.
And that's exactly what we were talking about. When you don't have any kind of room for error, and you're able to get just a little bit of penetration, push that offensive line back just a little bit, you come up with 2 points. And what that does is that gives the Knights a 16-15 lead, and the Tornadoes are going to have to kick the ball off deep from their own side of the field. So by all intents and purposes, the Knights should be taking over with a good field position here in just a moment after that safety.
That was number 26 with the handoff, Amarion Black. Hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly, but Amarion Black with the handoff, and he gets tackled in the backfield. And like Clint said, the Knights,
they'll be kicking it from the 20-yard line. Normally you kick off from what, the 35, if I'm not mistaken? So 40, yeah, so you lose 20 yards on the kickoff already. So where the Knight return team would be lined up around the 10-yard line, they're probably going to be lined up somewhere around the 30. And that's, moving back to the 20.
and he's electing to put the football on the field.
I don't know that the Knight return, now they realize they were going back to where they would normally. So now they're coming up to the 35-yard line.
They've already been short kicks. The times that they have kicked the ball off, they've been short kicks. So you got to think that the up men have a chance at this. Nice end-over-end kick, going to come down to the 32-yard line. That's Landon Vaughn to the 40. 45 comes to this near side, breaks tackle to the 50. There's a flag on the field. 40, 35, near the 35-yard line. Will it be coming back? There's 2 flags.
I believe I saw a block in the back, and they may get I didn't see who made the block in the back, but there may be a second penalty as well on there. I may have just seen number 25, Jake Rogers, with a hold there at the end as well. So we'll see what they call.
He marked off, I believe, from the 47-yard line.
Yeah, so they're gonna mark him. They're gonna call that hold against. Again, I didn't catch the number. I was obviously mistaken on them calling holding on 25 because that penalty came in way before that second flag did. Anyway, so that's going to be back him up after a good return by Luke Vaughn. Was it Vaughn? Yeah, it was Vaughn on the Landon Vaughn on the.
Is that the correct yardage though? If it was marked, it must have been marked from midfield.
Yeah, I think they called it on the 50, but that's going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Knights on their own 40-yard line. A little confusion on the Philadelphia defensive side of the ball.
Jackson Parker and where's the ball? It's going to be entire line false start here. Yep.
Yeah, that may have been one of those where the center was about a half second late snapping the ball. This is one of those you watch a college or a pro game where the head official, when he's calling, it may have said offsides on everybody except the center.
First down and 15. The Knights had the ball near the Tornado 35-yard line, but 2 penalties have them backed up on their side of the field. Caleb Collins with the handoff to the far side, to the 40, to the midfield, to inside around the 47, 48-yard line.
That's going to be I believe they're going to mark him down right at the 48-yard line, so that's going to be a gain of 17 on that 1st down and 15. So a great run by Caleb Collins, able to get out past midfield, get you into the Tornado side of the 50. And once again, the offense is rolling. Just going to try to play solid football and not shoot yourself in the foot with penalties and blowing up blocking assignments.
2:52 remains here in the first quarter, and it's been a lot of scoring so far. 16-15. The Knights lead by 1. Parker on the roll here on the run, and in a complete pass. That is number 1, Brett Busby, with the reception at the 37-yard line.
Great job. All right, so that was one of those situations where Busby looks up, he realizes his quarterback's in trouble, and he starts coming back toward the quarterback, to give him, to make sure that Jackson Parker realizes that he's there, he's available, and just kind of a check down route to Busby for a 1st and 10 for the Knights.
Cooper Luke, Antonio Radcliffe are your receivers, 1 on each side of the field. Pistol formation. Collins with the handoff to the 35, 30, cuts around 1 defender and gets a couple more yards to the 29-yard line.
Hey, Lee, let's play trivia real quick.
I'm not good at trivia.
Do you know what a pancake block
Yes,
is?
I do. I do know that.
Well, did you see that one just now?
No, I did not. I was watching the guy carrying the football.
I was looking ahead of him, and Hunter Moore just absolutely drops the linebacker number 51, Quentin Beeman.
If you've never seen Hunter Moore, this kid is stocky. I mean, he's a bowling ball. If he comes right at you, you get knocked down.
He came right at him, 2 hands right underneath the chest plate of the shoulder pads, and for Quentin Beeman, the first thing that hits the ground was his numbers.
We're in a heat timeout, I believe. I'm pretty sure we're in a heat timeout here. I know that there was a timeout called, and I believe it's an official timeout. 2:27 remains here in the first quarter, 16-15. But as we were talking about pancake blocks, that's where I saw the official take the timeout. So I'm pretty sure it's for the official timeout. But yeah, Hunter Moore, he's just a junior, and I'm looking forward to another year of him on the football field.
Yeah, that was one of those plays that when they get in there looking at film this weekend, he's going to get a positive check on that play, no doubt about that.
2 receivers to this near side, Cooper Luke and Antonio Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe in the slot to this near side. Hayes Nance in the game, 2nd down and 2 on the 29-yard line of the Tornadoes. Looking to pass as Parker got Antonio Ratcliffe to the 10-5, and touchdown West Lauderdale. That is, I believe, Antonio's first touchdown of the season.
Great play by Jackson Parker, selling the play action, faking the handoff to Hayes Nance, and everybody bit down on that. And what happened is your linebackers were 1 step too slow, dropping back and covering the slant route, and he was open, catches it, runs it right into the end zone for a touchdown. Now your Knights are lined up for the extra point here, ready to close a swinging gate. And there they go. So they're going to line up for a more traditional style extra point, which, 3rd touchdown, first extra point attempt of the night for the Knights.
Waiting to snap. There's a snap. Hold us down. Kick is up, and it is good. I squeaked in there to that left side, but it is 23-15. Hey, we're still 2 minutes, 19 seconds left in the first quarter. We'll be back on Q101.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries. And home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save.
In Meridian, talk to State Farm agent Chris McDonald today.
Some change in banking that is focused on you. Remember FDIC, equal housing.
Two minutes and 19 seconds left, and we can put some more points on the board, right? 38 points divided up 23-15. Knights 23, Tornadoes 15. It has been an exciting, to say the least. I don't know, what else could you say? It's been a very exciting first quarter.
Absolutely, and you look at the offensive production on the Tornadoes have really come in just big chunk plays. The long touchdown pass and then the kickoff return for a touchdown.
Cooper Luke will try to placement kick on the 25. And he will decide to return it to the 30. And already had one return for a touchdown. This one not quite so far. To the 35-yard line is where the Tornadoes will go.
And that was a very intentional kickoff right there. Because like what I was just talking about, Coach Brock, these coaches, they realize that, barring one just beautiful dime of a pass that went for, 60-something yards for a touchdown, and then the kickoff return that went for the touchdown, the Tornadoes have done basically nothing on the offensive side of the ball. So that was them saying, we're not going to let you beat us on the kickoff again. You're going to have to drive the ball down the field. And so far the Tornadoes have had no success actually trying to do that.
Seeing the trainer tend to Landon Vaughn, number 12, here on the sideline. We'll have to keep an eye out on that situation. Landon is needed on that defensive side of the ball, but he is not currently in the game. First down and 10 for the Tornadoes, double wing formation. D. Burnside will pitch it back to his back, number 23. Comes to this near side, and he is tackled after maybe a 2-yard pickup. I don't know if they give him that.
Yeah, they're going to mark him down for, I believe, no gain, maybe a yard, but that's going to be a very minimal gain. And that's one of those plays that you look and say, man, how did I gain half a yard when I ran 40?
Right. He was the back on the opposite side of the football field on that double wing formation. That is number 23, Chance Greer. course, double wing formation, that's something the Knights, at least fans, probably have a little history on. We ran the double wing here for years upon years upon years. A little difference in the style of these running backs. They're actually facing each other instead of facing toward the offensive line, and of course a back directly behind the quarterback as well. This time hit hard after a 1-yard pickup. It was 2nd down and 10. This time number 5 meets Jordan Gowdy, and Gowdy, you ain't getting past Gowdy. I'm sorry.
We, much like what you're talking about, when I was in high school, oh goodness, that was 20 years ago, we ran this double wing. You can run, basically any kind of misdirection,
right.
Toss, cross counter. You can run traps out of it. And that's kind of what I'm looking here as well. They're trying a little bit of misdirection. They're trying to run horizontally, trying to get to the sides and then cut it vertically. And so far, just having very, very little success on that. And that's why they find themselves in a 3rd and 9 situation here.
I'll say my point here in a little bit, but D. Burnside rolling out to his left, rolling, still looking for a receiver, still looking, and he gets rid of it. And will it be picked up? Yes, that's Landon Vaughn. He's back at the game in a good way. Midfield, 45 to the 40, inside the 40. Landon Vaughn, I just thought he was going to be out because they were tending to him on the sideline, and he comes up big with an interception. We have 2 tornadoes down the football field right now as well. And there is a flag. There is a flag against the Knights, and that will be marked off around the 30-yard line, I'm guessing. That's where the flag is thrown. But go and training staff is tending to the tornadoes, but that's on the ground. But for years, I talked about it just a few moments ago, for years the West Lauderdale Knights offense ran this double wing formation. Well, guess who was the defensive coordinator against that, practicing every day? Brock Clay.
I was going to say Coach Brock.
Yeah, so that is something that possibly, you've got the defensive coordinator as head coach now. He's got a little bit of knowledge about that double wing. Now, of course, different coaches coach it a different way, I'm sure, but still you kind of know what to expect. Be ready for this, be ready for that type thing. Still tending to a Philadelphia tornado. They're getting him up. That's good news. So he's able to walk off on his home power. But big interception for the Knights. Has the Knights with 34 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Once again, the score is 23-15 in favor of the Knights, and the Knights, that'll be backing them up on the 49-yard line of their own.
Yeah, I don't know that we actually said it. They called what I believe was a hold against. I'm sorry, they called a face mask against the Knights whenever they were tackling the quarterback, and therefore the interception it doesn't count.
Wow.
The quarterback throws this desperation heave, and as a result, we are looking at 1st and 10 for the Tornadoes on the 49-yard line. Man, just a
roller coaster.
Yeah, penalty that did not need to happen, and we're seeing, man, this is one of those. This may go down as a trap game.
Oh yeah.
For the Knights, a game that, again, you look on paper, you're looking at a team that's undefeated against a team that hasn't won yet. You're looking at a team that has done so much, basically whatever they wanted, against a team that struggled.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter. We're going to stay here in action, but we're going to actually talk about something that happened, not necessarily the penalty. The Tornadoes are already without one of their running backs, C.J. Rush. I'm pretty sure he's not re-entering the ball game. There were 2 Tornadoes injured during that one play. I'm not sure what their status would be, but if you look down the roster, you got so many players going both ways. How many players do you have available?
Yeah, and for a team that is already depleted due to injuries, a team that's already having players going both ways, injuries are the absolute killer. And what we're seeing as a result of that is you're seeing a team that is already beginning to slow down a little bit. It came out so hot, throwing the ball down the field, and now they're already kind of being forced to check up just a little bit.
The Tornadoes will have decent field position once they break huddle on the Knight 49-yard line after that face mask penalty. What would have been great field position for the Knights with an interception from Landon Vaughn, erase that, give the ball right back to the Tornadoes and D. Burnside on the Knight side of the 50. They'll trot out with one receiver to the left as they're moving right to left. Little pistol formation, double wing formation, hands off to 26 in the backfield. He is tackled with a 1-yard loss, I believe. No, they're going to give him back to the original line of scrimmage, so it's going to bring up 2nd down and 10.
That's one of those plays where you just feel bad for the running back. It's like, go down. I didn't catch the number of the Knight defensive player. Basically had both of his ankles player playing running back right now, number 26, whom I believe is, Marion Black, trying to fight for yardage, but he's basically standing there unable to move his feet and just gotten introduced roughly to 3 other Knight defensive players. But that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 after no gain at the Knight 49-yard line.
Burnside hands off to number 20 that far side, and he is off to the races, but that track kind of closed up, and I believe that was Brett Busby that made the tackle there after about a 7-yard gain. 3rd down, 3 to go.
Yeah, that was Chance Greer, number 23 for the Tornadoes on that end around. Like we were talking about, that double wing, just able to run the tall side of that and pick up good yardage after able to make the corner. But go from a 2nd down and 10 to a 3rd and 3. Knights trying to force a 3 and not a 3 and out, but after the penalty, trying to force them into maybe a punt situation or a turnover on downs if they like to go for it on 4th if they don't get this.
Same formation. Greer going in motion. Ball's on the ground, but he'll pick it up. Dean Burnside, he will lose about 4 yards. Just trouble right there from the get-go. Snap goes on the ground. Burnside has to pick it up, and he sees a few black jerseys in his way, and he decides to go down with it.
Yeah, that was Burnside saying that it can't happen. He didn't feel like there was any way to find any kind of success. So rather than forcing something that could have turned into a turnover, like what he did on the negated interception, he just fell on the ball and chose to fight another day. But that's going to bring up 4th down and 7 on the Knight 46-yard line for the Tornadoes.
10:05 remains here in the first half. 23-15 in favor of the Knights, and it's been a barn burner so far. I wonder if this is going to keep up the whole game.
All right, we're going to have a timeout by
Tornadoes.
Philadelphia, by the Tornadoes here. They let the play clock run all the way down, and they took the timeout.
We're going to step aside as well. 23-15 in favor of the Knights. We'll be back on Q101.
Hey, I'm Kirsten Lee, graduate of West Lauderdale and contract specialist for Senior Benefit Marketing. We at Senior Benefit Marketing have a combined 40 years experience in the senior market for life and burial insurance. We would love the opportunity to customize a policy just for you. Or maybe you're looking for a career option. We are always looking for people to join our winning team. Please visit our website at www.seniorbenefitmarketing.com. Go Knights!
Back sack in the backfield. That is Brett Busby. That is Brett Busby with the quarterback sack.
And Burnside is down, and he is not getting up. Okay, there we go. Very slowly getting up and going to his sideline, and that is something that Philadelphia cannot afford. Already seen several injuries for the Tornadoes, and to see their quarterback who plays some defense as well, to see him limping off, just for the sake of that young man, you hope to see him come back on the field here in just a little while.
So
but
the
Knights are going to take over 1st and 10 on the Philadelphia side of the 50. Great starting field position on the Tornado 43-yard line.
2 receivers to this near side, 1 to the far side for the Knights, moving left to right. And that is Gunnar Knapp with a handoff. Who figured that one? 35 to the 30 to the 25 and out of bounds near the 27-yard line. That is a big running back.
That is a strong run, and they're going to mark him down at the 23-yard line. So pickup of what are they going to give him credit for? About 20 yards on that carry right there. Going to give 1st and 10 for the Knights on the Tornado 23-yard line.
So Jackson Parker barking out the signal to his big lineman up in front of him. And early movement against the Tornadoes will tack on an extra 5 yards, put them inside the red zone.
Yeah, one of the defensive linemen bit on the hard count, jumped into the neutral zone and made contact with an offensive lineman. So that's going to bring out 1st and 5 for the Knights on the Tornado 18-yard line.
Once again, if you missed us just a few moments ago, I know we had some technical difficulties a few moments ago. The Tornadoes were not able to convert on 4th down, and the Knights took over on the Tornado side of the football field and are threatening inside the red zone. Parker looking to pass, and it is intercepted, but there are multiple. Was hit beforehand before he was able to make the catch, but The pass, the intended pass, was going in toward Cooper Luke, and a penalty was, or flag was thrown about the same time that interception was made.
This is going to be interference against the Tornadoes. In fact, they know it. None of them have moved.
I got you.
The defense is still on the field. The offense for the Knights still on the field. So even though that was intercepted, I believe it was intercepted because somebody ran through the receiver to get to the ball.
Parker only with one interception this entire season. One interception. I believe that was the first week of the season.
Yeah, that was one up receiver, and while that might go against him, it's definitely hard to say that was his fault. But this one, I believe, is going to go. This penalty will go against the Tornadoes, and it should remain night football. Referee still huddled up together talking about it, though.
If you're just now joining us, 9:33 here in the first half. It's been a lot of scoring, 23-15, and the Knights threatening once again. Have the football at first down. Awaiting this penalty yardage. We're still yet to receive that. Maybe they just.
Yeah, here's the replay again, Lee. You can see for yourself. But it is pass interference against the Tornadoes.
And then there was something against the Knights as well, which is declined.
No, they offset.
Okay, all right.
So it's going to remain 1st and 5 for the Knights after all of that discussion. 1st and 5 for the Knights again. Tornado maybe 18-yard line. 18-yard line.
Moving left to right. Receiver on each side of the field for the Knights, and movement from the Knights will reset the line. And I believe there's going to be a flag here. Early movement against the Knights will put them back on the original line of scrimmage on the 23-yard line. So we've just been playing back and forth penalties here. And the Knights back on the original line of scrimmage on the Tornado 23-yard line. Same formation. Antonio Radcliffe, who's got a touchdown reception in this game. He's lined up wide left, and another flag. Encroachment here against the defense this time. Give, take, give, take, give, take.
Yeah, but both teams playing ugly football. Both teams have been penalized. Both teams have given up big plays. Man, it's almost like, it's like anything you can do, I can do better.
Right.
Any mistake you can make, I can top it. But that's going to bring up 1st down again and 5 for the Knights back on the 17-yard line.
They'll move two receivers that far side. That is Luke and Radcliffe. Luke is wide left in pistol formation. Collins directly behind Parker. Collins get the call to the 15, cuts inside to the 10, to the 5, inside the 5, and it is touchdown, West Lauderdale. How about that? An 18-yard touchdown run by Caleb Collins.
And hey, Lee, guess what?
What? No flag?
No penalty.
Sweet.
Absolutely. Strong run by Collins. Great job by the offensive line to kind of clean out right there. I'm looking at the replay, and the line, Collins wasn't touched until he was 7 or 8 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. So outstanding job by the offense there to punch the ball in and take a 29-15 lead with the extra point pending here with 9:02 left in the first half.
Collins had a 16-yard touchdown run early in tonight's game. So that's his second. His fake here. Fake Jackson Parker with the stretched out arm.
Hey, I'm Kirsten Lee, graduate of West Lauderdale and contract specialist for Senior Benefit Marketing. We at Senior Benefit Marketing have a combined 40 years experience in the market for life and burial insurance. We would love the opportunity to customize a policy just for you. Or maybe you're looking for a career option. We are always looking for people to join our winning team. Please visit our website at www.seniorbenefitmarketing.
Once again, extend their lead 31-15. The Tornadoes led just a few moments ago 15-14. But how about all this? A safety, touchdown, extra point, touchdown, 2-point conversion.
Knights getting ready to kick off from their own 40-yard line after that touchdown. Still a lot of time left to go in the first half. We've had a lot of points scored already here in the game. Tornadoes back on their inside of the 10-yard line, ready to return this kick off. Ready to kick it off. see if he kicks a little pooch kick again, and that's exactly what he does. They're going to
down to the 27-yard line. He's up to the 30, and he is tackled at the 29. Actually, he backpedals and gets to the 29. That is number 8 with a return, Bernard Parker, a sophomore.
So Philadelphia returning that kickoff early in the game for a touchdown, and they are not going to have another opportunity, or at least not, the last couple of chances. They are the Knights are just perfectly fine with giving them field position around the 30-yard line with that little pooch, not an onside, but definitely not approach. But that's exactly where they start out on their own 9-yard line as they break huddle, and come onto the field. And we already talked about this. Yes, the Tornadoes, they have 15 points, but one long pass and one kick return, that's really all the offense they've been able to muster so far here in the first half.
Right, double wing formation for Burnside. Burnside hands it off to number 23. 23 is on. Well, that closed up pretty quick up to the 32-yard line. I thought he was about to break one there, but the Knights defense was right there at the 31-yard line. Only a 2-yard pickup, second down and 8 coming up.
Absolutely. Again, that just a little toss off of the double wing set.
Yeah, you love running backs like that can make guys miss, can juke and jive. But looking at him, he ran 20 yards and he got 2 out of it.
And that's what you see a lot in these formations, because there's going to be a lot of sideline to sideline horizontal running before you're able to get vertical. And by the time he did get vertical, he only picked up 2 yards.
Burnside will hand it off to his man, number 5. Comes to this near side and gets hit hard at the 35, 36-yard line. Going to bring up third down and short.
Yeah, they're going to mark him down on, I believe you're rightly, on the 36-yard, 37. So that's going to bring up third down and 2 for the Tornadoes here in the second quarter.
They actually back it up just on the inside of the 36-yard line, so about a 3 yards to go.
Yeah, third down and 3 here. Knights hoping to force a 3 and out, get the ball back again, put up some more points here in the second quarter.
Tornadoes have been looking for that first win of the season. They're 0-4. The Knights 3-0 as we are here in the 5th week of the 2022 season. There's a timeout, Tornadoes. They'll have 1 remaining after this. We're going to stay here in the game here, but the Tornadoes once again have been searching for the first win after some big time losses. But you look at that schedule, and I don't know too many teams that would be that wouldn't be looking for that first win of the season after facing Knoxville County, Leake Central, Bay Springs, and Winona. Those are some tough teams.
Absolutely, and you got to keep in mind, Philadelphia being a 3A school, they are stepping up, classification here.
Yeah, Knoxville kind of came down to 3A, but they've recently done that. They've been a 4A school. Leake Central will face them next week. I was talking to offensive coordinator Daniel Knox today about Leake Central. He said, surprisingly, they are really good this year. I say surprisingly. They've had some down years, but he's really questioning next week's game, as we head up to Leake Central.
Well, we've had, this is week number 5, our 4th game of the season. Have not played any kind of district games. So those start next week, and that's when the season, not downplaying the last 4 or 5 weeks, but the season really gets going next week.
Third down, 3 to go for the Tornadoes. Quarterback number 1, D. Burnside, as one of his wingbacks going in motion to the far side. Burnside looking to pass, being flushed in the pocket, and still being flushed, and just throws it out of bounds, and that'll be 4th down and 3 to go coming up.
Yeah, that was D. Burnside admitting defeat, recognizing there was nobody there for him, so he just threw it away rather than taking the sack. That's going to bring it up, like you said, 4th down and 3 on their own 36-yard line.
Will this be the first time tonight that the punter will enter the game for the Tornadoes?
I'm not seeing him come out yet. Play clock.
I'm pretty sure that he's already on the field.
Play clock down inside of 15 seconds. Although it just reset.
Yeah, the ref was calling to reset. They're going to leave the offense out there unless they have a play kind of like the Knights do with Parker as the punter as well.
Yeah, but the quick kick is not as effective.
There's a play. 4th down and 3. Going to hand it off, and there's going to be a flag on this near side and a false start.
So you're going to go from 4th and 3 to 4th and 8, and this may change what you do if you're the Tornadoes. And yes, I see multiple people coming on. It looks like they're going to punt the ball away here. Is that Burnside backed up the punt?
Yep.
Number one, your quarterback, also your punter for both teams. Quarterback doing the punting details here, but Burnside backed up the punt. So that's going to put Jackson Parker back to return the punt, who last week, was able to take one to the house.
It was about in this same spot, too. Parker had I believe it was a 57-yard, 50-some-odd touchdown run from the punt return. High snap, gets it down. Spiral punt, which are very hard to catch, and Jackson will recover at the 43-yard line. That's going to be interference, right?
Yeah, that's going to be a kick-catch interference. That's a personal foul against the Tornadoes. Parker calls the fair catch, catches the ball, and just, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this word on the radio, but stupidly, the gunner for Philadelphia tries to slap the ball out of his hand after he had called a fair catch. You cannot do that. That's a 15-yard penalty, and that's going to put the ball inside of the Tornado territory for the Knights. Again, going to give them great starting position. That's the call right there.
For years, I was on the radio, and I'm pretty sure while they might not have said it, the listeners probably, they were stupidly thinking or listening to me. So, I mean.
Yeah, so right there, instead of having the ball 1st and 10 on your own 44-yard line, you take over at the Tornado 46. So short field again for the Knights, which, don't get me wrong, I like the mistakes for the other team, but –
7:53 remains here in the first half. Knights were down 14-15, but now find themselves up 31-15. Completed pass to Jackson Parker, out of bounds inside the 30. Ridge Brown has
I believe the referee on the far side was saying he was juggling the ball.
Okay.
So that's going to go as an incomplete pass. So
wow, what a break.
Absolutely. 7-10 for the Knights. After that, almost dangerous, but just incomplete pass.
Parker lined up wide right. Luke and Ratcliffe left. Ridge Brown hands off to Collins. Collins inside the 25 to the 20 to the 15, still on his feet near the 10-yard line. Collins has shown some burst of speed tonight. We know it's there. But Collins has really showed out here tonight. 16-yard touchdown run, an 18-yard touchdown run, almost took it to the house there from 20-some-odd yards out.
Well, yeah, I believe that's going to be about an 18-yard carry for him right there. I think they had him down at the 28. So getting down to the 10 with 7 minutes, 10 seconds left.
Ridge Brown still at your quarterback, and Ridge will take it himself. Not much there, though. They had the middle taken care of. The Tornadoes defense did, and maybe a half yard, so second down and 9 to go for the Knights. Still can get a first down in between that goal marker there.
Yeah, they're going to they can get it if they get it inside the 1. That'll be area to get a first down, but
this is huge, valuable playing time for Ridge, right?
Yeah.
You're playing against a quality opponent. Getting some good passes in there. 2 receivers this near side, 1 to the far side. Brown, once again, calling out the signals. Brown rolling out to his right, throwing right, incomplete pass. Going to bring up 3rd down and 9 as the ball is potted there at the 10-yard line.
We've said that several times, talking about Ridge Brown, Hayes Nance getting quality. At some point, it's not getting quality. You're a part of the offense.
Right.
You're no longer just, okay, we got to get some meaningful snaps for our backups. It's, okay, we got Jackson Parker, and Ridge Brown, quarterback 1 and 1A, 1B. I mean, I don't know that you can say, starter and scrub. It's first string and kind of.
I say that because Jackson was basically thrust into as a sophomore. He was given the reins as the quarterback. Brown, on the other hand, has some time. He had some time to come in last year. He's got some time to come in this year. And next year, more than likely, he will be the quarterback of the Knights of the 2023 season. But here's a handoff to Collins. Collins up near the 6-yard line. It's going to bring a 4th down. Here's decision time for the head football coach of the West Lauderdale Knights, Coach Brock Clay. What's going to happen here? I believe he's going to be sending in a full team here of special team players maybe. I'm not sure. But nope, he's going to leave that offense out on the football field.
Yeah, they're going to go for it here on 4th down and 5 from the 6-yard line.
It's a huge play for the Philadelphia Tornadoes, who are down by 16 points here. Ridge Brown, 2 receivers to the left for Ridge, and he causes a defender to jump all sides.
Now, is that going to be a half distance?
No, that should be. Oh, you're right. That will be a half the distance to the goal.
You go from 4th down and 5 to a 4th down and 2, I believe, 2.5. So much more makeable 4th down here for the Knights.
Hayes Nance is to the left of Ridge Brown, who goes up to his line and barks out the signals. Two receivers to the left as well. Brown calls for the football. Brown looking to pass. Got a receiver, an incomplete pass in the end zone. The intended receiver was Cooper Luke.
Had him open, just unable to make it.
Maybe a little bit behind him, but still a catchable football.
Absolutely. But as it is, the ball will be turned over on downs to the Tornadoes. 1st and 10 at their own, 2-yard line, I believe?
Looks to be three.
Yeah. But that's going to be a stoppage of play by the officials here.
5:43 remains. Once again, the Knights still lead 31-15, but you never want to. Could that be the play of the football game type situations?
Well, I believe, you look at everything around, and that play was called, that decision was made by looking at two things. One, you've had almost 100% success rate on moving the ball. You've had a couple of plays where you got stopped for a loss, but by and large, you were able to move the ball down the field. And two, the last time that the Tornadoes were pinned deep in their own end zone, they ended up, getting a safety. Your defense steps up. So that's a play that's made by trusting your offense that they can pick it up, and trusting your defense that on the off chance it doesn't happen, that they're going to be able to step up and make the stop.
Mm-hmm.
So
offense breaks their huddle. The Tornadoes offense breaks their huddle. Okay, I knew that they broke the huddle from the sideline. There was one extra gentleman on the field. It's like, that looks like a little too many jerseys white, but one gets off the field. And Tornadoes will hand the ball off. Gets up near the 5 and gets sandwiched between a few black jerseys.
Yeah, they're going to mark him down right at the 5-yard line, so that's going to bring up 2nd down and 8 for the Tornadoes on their own 5-yard line. It will pick up a little bit more breathing room whenever you've got your heels in the end zone. You want to be able to just positive yardage is a win most of the time in that situation.
So once again, your running backs, Chance Greer. You have Amarion Black.
Both of whom start on defense.
Austin Donald
starts on defense.
C.J. Rush has already been taken out of the game due to sickness. That's all we'll call it.
Yeah, illness, yeah.
D. Burnside is in the end zone looking for a pass.
As he was releasing the ball.
Intended receiver was 23, Chance Greer. Do I see 6 back in the game? Yes, he is. Yeah. He is back in there.
Maybe they gave him a Z-pack and told him to hold it in. But as it is, Burnside, running for his life back there at the back of the end zone, able to throw it away. But that's going to bring up 3rd down and 7 on their own 5-yard line.
Number 6, C.J. Rush, after getting sick on the Knights football field. He's back in the game. 23 is off to the races to the 20, outside the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Yeah, right side of that field, able to get around the farthest defensive lineman and pick up big yardage. 3rd down and 7 on the 5-yard line, able to pick up about 17 yards.
There's Chance Greer with the run. Off again.